delving back into my little golden book collection. So welcome back to reading stories, reading little golden books with Span. That's me. So I'm hoping to get through two or three of these little golden books, starting with this one. Oh, look at it. Isn't it magnificent? Let me just put this pile back. I'll put it here so you can still see. Though we still have plenty to go. But look at these dinosaurs. Look at that face. Look at it. I don't think I've read this one all the way through. I have a feeling like it's missing pages or something. But this is an ASMR video. Welcome to Spantopia Rose ASMR. So if you don't like tapping on books, book tapping or scratching or whatever strange sounds I might make with my hands during filming this, then this video is not for you. But if you are here because of the ASMR, or you don't mind, welcome, 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 welcome. The back of this book says, "Little golden books are books to grow with. They entertain, they inform, they stretch the boundaries of the imagination. Their wide variety of stories and subjects and their colourful, inviting illustrations have made them favourites with children and parents for more than 40 years. Really ages the book. Because children love them, Little Golden Books are an ideal introduction to the world of reading. Written and illustrated by some of the best children's books authors and artists, Little Golden Books are known by their gold foil binding and by the pleasure they bring children." Is that gold? It seems a little silver to me. This one here has a little code up in the corner, and the little golden book is down the bottom. Glorious. I can't wait to read this. I love dinosaurs so much. Oh my gosh. Okay. Dinosaurs, a little golden book. This little golden book belongs to Mr. Nobody. I should go through and write my name on them all. Dinosaurs by Jane Werner Watson. Pictures by William D. J. Rutherford. It has a double O in the Ford part. Alright. I got to be a paleontologist for a week once and dug up some dinosaur bones. Few things are more fascinating to a child than the story of the giant creatures that once lived on our Earth. Jane Werner Watson's clear, simple text and William D. J. Rutherford's imaginative illustrations bring to young children a vivid picture of how the world might have been in the long ago days of the dinosaurs. That's not the first page. I was like, this is a weird text for a children's book. This is the first page. Long, long ago, before the days of people, huge creatures called dinosaurs ruled the earth. We can study only their bones today. Where did they come from? Where did they go? Where do you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? What is the story? That is the story we wish to know. Where did they come from? Where did they go? That is the story we wish to know. In those long ago days on Earth, the land was sunny and warm and green. The oceans were full of shelled creatures and fish. Along the shores, in fresh water, amphibians lived. Young ones in the water, grown-ups on the land, as amphibians do today. But only the creatures who lived all their lives on the land in those days were reptiles. Some of these reptiles ate fish, varanops. Some ate eggs, Edaphosaurus. Some ate plants, Podokesaurus. Some ate meat. There was plenty to eat for all in those days, so the reptiles grew and grew and grew. Some of them walked on their hind feet. They grew long, strong hind legs, and in front they had short, grasping claws. I got a big head and little arms. And in front they had short, grasping claws. They shook the earth like thunder when they moved. They were the dinosaurs. Saltoboschus, Compsognathus. Aren't these just such archaic, iconic images? Their family name is Saurus, meaning lizard. They were something like our lizards of today. Dino means terrible. Some of them were terrible indeed. Look at this guy, he's pretty terrible. He's a Anchisaurus. He knows what's coming. He's seen some things. There was a Platyosaurus, first of the giants. He was huge, but not terrible. He ate green, growing plants. There was 30-foot Allosaurus. He ate other dinosaurs. There was the Stegosaurus, who wore heavy, spiny plates. That is a classic Stegosaurus. There was a Brontosaurus. Not anymore. I think it's been declassified. Who was 70 feet long from the tip of his nose to the tip of his tail. His tail was so far from his tiny brain that he had a separate sort of brain back there to tell his hind legs what to do. What? Slow-moving Diplodocus was sometimes longer still. They both weighed so much they liked to stand in swamps where the water helped to hold up their weight. They were so big and they got so hungry that they had to munch at green plants all day long. I also have to eat all day long. I think this got disproven. Factually inaccurate. I don't know, don't quote me on that. There was a Brachiosaurus, biggest of all. He weighed as much as 50 tons, but he couldn't run. He couldn't fight. When he was frightened, he just hit his head. Like emus. Ostriches. Head in the sand. The king of the giants was Tyrannosaurus Rex. A bloodthirsty monster was he. He was 50 feet long and 6-inch teeth were as sharp as sabers. He could eat a large meal. Look how horrific this is. The other creatures needed protection to be safe from the Tyrannosaurus Rex and his like. Some wore coats of armor covered with spikes and studs. Ankylosaurus was one of those. Ankylosaurus. I really like those guys with the armored tails. They're so cool. Some wore bony helmets with sharp horns. Triceratops wore one of these. Some had tails like clubs of bone. Some had mouths like duckbills, full of thousands of teeth. Wow. So we've got a Triceratops here. And we've got a Trachodon. Up here. Trachodon. Triceratops. Pterodons. And Struthiomimus. Over here. Some grew long legs. They learned to run fast. Ostrich-like Struthiomimus. Struthiomimus was one. Some, like the Pterodon, learned to fly. Others, like Plesiosaur and Mosasaur and Ichthyosaur took to the seas and swam. Some learned to run, some to swim, and some to fly. but not one was intelligent. That's a bit assumptive, isn't it? Their brains were very, very small. Maybe that was the reason for what happened. What happened? What happened was this: as the years went by, all those creatures disappeared. Invisible. Giant Brontosaurus, the thunder lizard, taller than many trees. 50-foot long Tyrannosaurus rex, bigger than many houses. And the rest of them vanished away. It was a mass extinction event caused by natural causes. Like, it's not because they were stupid. It would kill us too. Today, the only reptiles that remain are turtles in their tough, bony shells. Small, scaly lizards that live on land and look like toy dinosaurs. Big-jawed lizard-like crocodiles and alligators that swamp in warm swamps. And long, legless snakes that slither about. Crocodiles actually were around in the dinosaurs, and they haven't evolved much. They've kept the same dinosaur-like structure, which is so cool. Here we go. What became of the dinosaurs? Were the winters too cold or the summers too hot? Was there not enough food for them? No one knows for sure. Don't we? When was this book written? Why the giant reptiles disappeared? Only their bones and their tracks in rocks tell us where they lived long ago in the days of the dinosaurs. I've seen dinosaur footprints, dinosaur tracks. Let's just look at when this book was written. It's got a barcode. Let's check. When it was first written. Copyrighted 1959. In 1959, did we not know about the big asteroid in 1959 that wiped out the dinosaurs? Is that new to science since this book was written? That's a little bit exciting. So that was the dinosaurs. That's probably why I haven't read this book all the way through, because I was like, it's factually incorrect. Wow. Okay. That's cool. Alright, so that was the dinosaurs. The next one has one of my favorite illustrators. Let's just learn her name real quick. Eloise Wilkin, and this is the faces that she draws. Absolutely adorable. Look how cute they are. Hansel and Gretel, a little golden book. This one is a soft cover. It's not a hard cover, and it doesn't have a barcode. Let's check the year. This little golden book belongs to Mr. Nobody. Hansel and Gretel by the Brothers Grimm, pictures by Eloise Wilkin. Alright. This one is in its 29th printing. This one was printed in 1981. But it was originally copyrighted and published in 1954. Alright. It says here on this little welcoming page, it says, "This illustration is one of the best loved folk tales of the Brothers Grimm, is the work of Eloise Wilkin, whose pictures have long delighted children. She has illustrated numerous other little golden books." It's true. I have quite a few of hers, and I just love the way she draws little faces. Oh no. Alright, let's start, shall we? On the edge of a small clearing near a great forest there lived a poor woodcutter and his wife and 2 children, Hansel and Gretel. The wife was the children's stepmother, and she was very cruel to them. Here she is, throwing bread at them. I assume that's bread and not rocks or boom. She looks like a witch. They had always been very poor, but one time there was a great famine in the country, and the woodcutter could not earn even enough money to buy food for his family. The poor woodcutter worried day and night. Finally he said to his wife, "What shall we do? We will surely starve. The food we have left is not enough for the children, let alone for us." "I have a plan," the stepmother said. Oh no, they have a dog. He can hunt rabbits, he's fine. "Early in the morning we will take the children into the forest and leave them in the thickest part of it. They will never find their way home again, and we can be rid of them." "I cannot do that," cried the woodcutter, but the cruel woman forced him to agree. How? Now Hansel and Gretel heard them talking, and Hansel thought of a clever plan. Creeping outside, he filled his pockets with pebbles. The next morning, before the sun was up, stepmother shouted at the children, "Get up, you lazy bones, we are going into the forest to cut wood. Here is a piece of bread, don't eat it yet, because you won't get any more." Then they set off for the forest with Hansel and Gretel lagging in the rear. Gretel carried their bread, and Hansel stopped every few steps to drop a pebble on the ground. Finally the father called back, "Hansel, hurry up, what's keeping you?" "Oh, I'm just looking at my white kitten who's sitting on the roof," said Hansel. "She's trying to say goodbye to me." "You fool," cried the stepmother, "that's the sunshine glinting on the roof." When they reached the middle of the forest, the father built a good fire. Then the stepmother said, "Wait by the fire while we go to chop wood. We will come back to get you." Hansel and Gretel fell asleep. When they woke up, it was night. Hansel comforted Gretel, who was frightened by the dark, and then, when the moon came up, they could see the pebbles that Hansel had dropped, and they followed them all the way home. When they got home, the cruel stepmother planned again to get rid of them, and the next day they all went once more into the forest. This time Hansel was not able to collect pebbles. He dropped breadcrumbs instead. But when the evening came, they could not find the breadcrumbs. The birds had eaten them. All night they walked, and the next morning suddenly they saw before them a little house all made of gingerbread, with windows spun of sugar. They ran towards it eagerly. Hansel ate a piece of the roof, and Gretel ate some of the window. Then they heard a voice saying, "Nibble, nibble like a mouse who's nibbling at my house." The children answered, "It's only the wind," and they went on eating. Then the door opened of the house, and an old woman came out leaning on a crutch. The two children were very frightened, but the ugly old woman spoke very sweetly. "Do come in," she said. "You must be very hungry and tired, for you look like you've come a long way." Then she led them into her house. There she invited them to sit down to dinner. They were so hungry they ate everything on the table. When they had finished, the old woman put them to bed in a great comfortable bed. Adorable. Now, although the old woman seemed so kind, she was really a wicked witch who ate little children. So while Hansel and Gretel were sleeping, she was thinking of the fine meal she would have. Looks like it's going to be delicious. The next morning she awakened Hansel and put him into a cage. No matter how he begged to get out, her heart did not soften. Then she woke up Gretel and put her to work. "I'm going to eat both of you," she said. "But first you can do some of my work." I hope this has a happy end. If I remember rightly, it's quite violent. So poor Gretel had to carry water, chop kindling, scrub floors, and sweep the rooms. Gretel did not get very much to eat, but the best food was given to Hansel, for the witch thought he was too thin. Each morning she her so she could see how fat he was, for she could not see well. But Hansel stuck out an old bone, so she thought he was not growing any fatter. At last the witch decided to eat him anyway. Gretel had built the fire and filled the kettle, and she cried as she worked. This is horrific. Then the witch came to Gretel and said, "Crawl in the oven, Gretel, and see if it's hot enough." But Gretel replied, "I don't know how to do it. How do I climb in the oven?" "Stupid," cried the witch. "The door is big enough. Why, I could get in myself." She bent down and put her head in the oven. Quick as a flash, Gretel pushed her in and slammed the door. Then Gretel let Hansel out of his cage. "Hansel, we're free," she cried. "The old witch is dead." In this one, the princess saves herself. Filling their pockets with glittering jewels from the witch's hoard, they set off through the woods, determined to find their way home. But though Hansel and Gretel walked and walked, they were still lost. Not a thing looked familiar. Just when they had given up hope, they heard a happy cry. There was their father, running towards them. "Hansel, Gretel," cried father, hurrying to them. "I have looked and looked for you." He took them home, and Hansel and Gretel found that their cruel stepmother had gone away forever. And with the jewels that they bought from the witch's house, they were able to live comfortably and happily ever after. Beautiful. That's actually a lot less. I thought the dad came in with his axe. Free 14, no risk 14-day examination. Wow. Look at this box set. It's gorgeous. I want it. The little golden book library. Wow, I wonder if I could still write in. Detach this coupon today. You fill in the coupon and then you post it away. More than 1,500 pages, over 1,000 dazzling illustrations, 4 magnificent volumes. Beautiful protective slipcase. Wow. I wonder if the Golden Press would accept this. No postage stamp required if posted in Australia. I wonder if it would get through, or if it expired in 1981. I don't want to cut out the coupon though because it's so classic. Alright, that's going to about do it, I think, for this video. I really enjoyed this one. It has been so long since I'd read it that I'd had other Hansel and Gretel stories mixed up in my brain. So it was really nice that Gretel saved the day. Even if that too was somewhat horrific for such young children, but it was nice. Here we have the Doodle from Doodle and Katie Caboose with all of the fun characters in the dream. We even have characters like Big Bird, Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, and Ernie and Bert. So cool. Look at Mickey though. Mickey from the 50s for sure. Alright. Thank you so